SuperZomgbBBQ. I just want to thank you for your support of WWE SuperCard, but unfortunately, you're wasting your time, because if you step in the ring with Johnny Wrestling, you ain't gonna be eating barbecue anytime soon, because you can't eat barbecue with no teeth. So, I mean, you could, but it won't taste good, and it'll probably be very difficult. As difficult as saying your name. So maybe maybe just put it down. Don't worry about it. It's fine though. Maybe come back, or just don't worry about stepping in the ring with me, because you don't want to do that. No, just keep your teeth. Cool? Just keep it.
Hey Believers, this is SuperZomgbBBQ, and well, isn't this a big subject to finally talk about? And it's kind of flown under the radar, but this is a big subject that needs to be covered. People being removed from the last man standing leaderboards because potentially some people have been doing things they shouldn't be doing. And we're going to be going through all of that, plus thoughts on it, why it's a really bad thing, especially in a game mode like Last Man Standing, and we get past finally into Arena 100 in this video. But let's just get started. I'm just going to say, whatever, if you like this video, smash the like button. If you want to see more of this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, because YouTube's been crap recently, so make sure it's uncrapped by making sure your notifications are on. In Last Man Standing this week, we had a couple of guys at the top who got there very, very quickly. I had intended to release a video talking about why it was a bad thing and why it needs to be fixed by those people. I don't want to make any accusations, but let's just get right into it. Here are my thoughts on what's been going on in Last Man Standing for the last 4 or so months. Now, to address something that a lot of people have been speaking about, I myself on Twitch and Twitter have alluded to it over the last couple of Last Man Standings. It seems to have become a problem since The Undertaker Last Man Standing in Season 4, which is towards the end of the season, going into Season 5. It was the Halloween event. You saw people posting absolutely insane scores. And at that point, people mostly didn't suspect anything. It looked pretty normal. People would go try and one-up themselves all the time. I remember I went for number 1 with Roman Reigns back in Goliath tier. When I got that, I thought that was going to be a record for a while, and then literally 2 LMSs later on, bam, it had been beaten and it got higher and higher. But the scores that are being posted got higher and higher and higher, and the most ridiculous score that came in was the one that came in for The Rock. Now, obviously, The Rock's Last Man Standing was a little bit easier because everyone was facing hardened cards. There was a little glitch in the game which made everyone face hardened cards, but there has been some really crazy things that I've seen. People seemingly going at double, triple the speed to get up the leaderboards. And what I will say is I am not making any accusations here. The reason I don't want to make any accusations, and I don't want to say, hey, that person's doing it or that person's doing it, is because that doesn't help anyone. I think the main issue that I want to address is what it does if it is true. If it is what we think it is, which is cheating or using some way of manipulating the game, it causes the game's integrity to suffer. Because less people are going to want to play a game where someone else has got a more of an advantage than you have, because they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. To an outsider who maybe is just starting, or maybe have got themselves up to Neon tier and is going to go into Last Man Standing, let's just say they get 5,000 points in an arena and then they're seeing this guy with 25 million, they're probably going to think to themselves, I'm never going to be able to get to that point, and become disinterested in the game. But I can name a couple of games that suffered because of the integrity and people stopping playing them because they just thought it was impossible to play a game, especially one that's got PvP elements, where they're going to be on a leaderboard with people with an advantage which they shouldn't have. You had WWE Immortals, you had Tap Mania, you had Champions, which did recover from it, but initially suffered a massive player loss. Initially with WWE Mayhem, there was issues as well. So that's just mentioning a couple of WWE games. But this kind of thing shouldn't be happening in WWE SuperCard. My concern is that these guys have been around for a long time, and it's now starting to really push people away and put people off of even playing the game at this point, especially when a new tier starts, and suffering because they're not getting access to something someone else has access to because they have an advantage that they shouldn't have. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I just feel that now is the time that something gets addressed or something gets done about this. And I have to admit, sometimes I've sat here and thought, what's the point? But I'd like to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Fingers crossed this is something that can be addressed or fixed or snuffed out at some point in the future, but that's just my take on it. I've just done it. Have I just done it? Please tell me someone tell me I just did it. Arena 99 complete! Woo! And the pack was awful. Yay! I did it! I'm Arena 100! Woohoo! And I got another carrot. It's been hell. We're now over Arena 100 and currently in 9th place. Mainly because of what's happened overnight. Yes, the 2 guys who are at the top of the leaderboard and a couple of other names in the top 50, and we don't know how far this extends, has suddenly disappeared. Now, no one knows why. It seems that the ban hammer has been swung. It seems that something wasn't correct, and as a result, actions have been taken. We don't know why they've been removed. We don't know if they've been banned or anything. It seems like the hammer's been swung, but yeah, there's been multiple names in the top 50 that just overnight have just gone. And it's the first time it's happened, and it's quite strange. And it's just people. I mean, I woke up looking at the leaderboard going, how am I here? When I went to sleep, I was here. And yeah, it's interesting, and honestly, I'm quite happy that if this was for the right reasons, it was dealt with. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, I will just reiterate, at no point am I saying that these guys definitely did, but there must have been a reason why they've just suddenly disappeared. So, be prepared to speculate. It certainly seems that something was afoot. But, yeah. Some suspicious goings on in the world of SuperCard, in Last Man Standing. And if you're in the Twitter community, which, again, you can follow me on Twitter with @SuperZomgbBBQ. But if you're in the Twitter community, you would have seen that there's been some things going on. I'm not going to go into details, but the fact that if this is true and things are being done about it, that's only a good thing for the reasons I mentioned. Maybe it was a repeat of the situation in Season 4 with a group of players who just suddenly ended up at the top of the PvP leagues out of nowhere. Like I said though, feel free to speculate in the comment section below. And if you like what you see in this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on whilst you're there. I'm going to go with a bit of Last Man Standing, because I'm going to see how far I can go. I'm still not going for number 1. But this is definitely an interesting, an interesting turn of events. So, I'm going to see you guys much later on. I have been SuperZomgbBBQ. You have been awesome. One last thing, and that is to... Zombie!
It's like I couldn't see straight on my own.